His dog days are over for now. At least myself, Dustin, joined by. See, I know that this bit probably has lasted for a bit too long, but you know what hasn't is the game coming up ahead. Moxie, obviously, all of our lovely talent have decided against the London Spitfire. Do you agree with that? Do you think that the London Spitfire don't really have a good shot at beating the Defiant tonight?
So I think the problem for London, the desk did touch on it, is the fact that they are sort of locked into this Reinhardt composition. We've seen a Hardy swap. I will say he's been getting a lot better at actually moving away from the Reinhardt in the past couple of series that they've played. He's gone towards things like the Winston and the Diva, but their best composition is always going to be that Rein. And we've seen it work on Ilios the last time that they played up against Titans. They did run that Symmetra, the Mei, alongside it. And a large part of actually why it was able to work was the backline. Admiral and Lucio was doing such a good job of being able to just play perimeter checks, make sure that no one could actually contest that Reinhardt and get close enough to punish that Brawl composition when it likes to play. The problem for London, however, is the maps that come afterwards.
Right.
If they lose Lighthouse, they're going to be in significant trouble because Defiant are incredibly flexible in terms of compositions they can come out with. Kenobi said that we've seen Kaluj come out on 6 tanks. One of them is the Junker Queen. This is something that they already played against Boston, and it's looking absolutely terrifying.
I mean, this game is incredibly important for Defiant to win, right, Moxie? I mean, they need to beat the London Spitfire to make sure they don't have a chance at those knockout stages, right? I mean, this is a really big deal for the Defiant to win. And like you said, Moxie, this might be the map they could do it on to really stop London Spitfire and kind of counter them because they're going to be on Reinhardt for the entire time.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Spitfire, it's the absolute worst map it could potentially have been of Ilios. It's Ruins. This is a map that's seen Widowmaker at top of meta sometimes because of the long lines of sight, so Hardy's going to have such a tough job trying to keep that shield intact before he's actually able to get close enough to Defiant to really swing that hammer and deal the damage this Brawl comp needs.
Well, Defiant, you know, walking towards the Junker Queen to kind of set up Sam on those dimes as well with Speedily on the Genji, running a bit of a interesting duo with those two, by the way, being in the lineup, and Speedily kind of just poking with those shurikens on the back line. London Spitfire looking for a TP. Nice actually triple dink into the back line, but because of that, you know, it's allowed Landon to build up towards that Baptiste window, has to dash back towards his team, but it's Kaluj who gets the kill onto Hadi after the Immortality Field was used, and now Speedily collapses on the rest of the London Spitfire as they slowly whittle away. They did get that cap on the point originally, but the Defiant will easily capture it back.
Yeah, and here's the thing, Speedily, when he's applying that pressure onto Spitfire's backline, he's not looking for the kill onto Backbone, he's looking to occupy the Mei's attention. So Backbone isn't actually there to punish when Kaluj goes to contest Hardy, because the Mei wall is what the Junker Queen fears the most. If you're Warden isolated away from your team, and you already burned that shout, you're as good as dead on this current patch. So a really good job from Defiant DPS to open up that space for the tank, but oh my goodness.
No.
Spitfire just not getting to rotate.
Yeah, they finally get Backbone in. Backbone maybe a bit distracted, looking for the headshot onto Speedily. London Spitfire now walking to the point. Hattie is hacked. Landon going to be the first one to match Sam in terms of ultimate. Sam tried to set up for the MP, but has to translocate away because he was poked out by that backline. Now London Spitfire rotate towards the point, and above, Landon drops the window. Backbone's able to get OG. They come back for the peel of the Genji, but because of that, they've lost Hadi. Hadi had no support on the front line. It's just Backbone who is here with the Mei ultimate to try to peel, but he's already lost one. Drops the Mei wall to block off the touch of the point before the flip, but they cannot do so. Unfortunately, the point not going to flip back in their favor until just about now, but they've zoned off far enough to capture that point back.
Yeah, and Defiant unfortunately did overcommit a little bit. Ultraviolet by trying to hold on to that point, threw in the Kitsune Rush. Granted, Defiant are going to have 4 ultimates to come into this next fight, whereas Spitfire are going to be relying on Sound Barrier to make sure that they can sustain through this rampage that comes out from Kaluj. But because they won that last fight, they have the time to position away from both it and the EMP.
Sam waiting with the EMP in the back line. Does he find a big one?